So greetings students, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 6, tissues of NCERT textbook. Now in this chapter we are going to learn about the animal tissues as well as the plant tissues. Let us first start with a mind map which will give you an idea of what we are going to learn in this chapter. So the tissues can be divided into plant tissues as well as animal tissues. Now the plant tissue, they can be divided into two categories, that is meristematic tissue and the permanent tissues. Now what is the basic difference between these two tissues? If you talk about the plant tissue and animal tissue, we know the basic difference between a plant cell and an animal cell. Plant cell with a cell wall, animal cell without a cell wall. Plastids are present in the plant cell, plastids are absent in the animal cell. So likewise there will be difference in these tissues. Now in the plant cell, those cells which divide continuously comes under the meristematic tissues, and those cells which has stopped dividing and are going to differentiate into different kinds of cell and perform different other functions, they are called as the permanent tissue. Here the meristematic tissue is again divided into three kinds. The first one is the apical meristem. The second one, it is called as the intercalary meristem, and the third one is called as the lateral meristem. So these three are the categories of meristematic tissue. Now the permanent tissue is also divided into two broad categories. The first one we call it simple permanent tissue. I am using PT for permanent tissue. Then the second one, it is called as the complex permanent tissue. So PT. Okay. Now the simple permanent tissue, it will be again divided into three types. That means the simple permanent tissue, actually they are made up of single kind of cells. So that's why they are simple, because all the cells in this tissue are of same kind. And the second one, that is complex permanent tissue, the name complex itself implies that there will be cells, there will be a mixture of different types of cell. Okay, that's why the name complex. Now the simple permanent tissue, it will be having three different kinds of cell. The first one is called as the parenchyma. The second one is called as the collenchyma, and the third one, it is called as the sclerenchyma. Now each of them, they will have different structure, and functional role also played by them will be slightly different. Then the complex permanent tissue is divided into two broad types. The first one is the xylem, and the second one is the phloem. So in our next session we will discuss each of them one by one. So greetings students, now we will continue with the plant tissue. The first topic is the meristematic tissue, and the meristematic tissues are those which are continuously those which have continuously dividing cells, and the permanent tissues are those in which the cells have already stopped dividing. The meristematic tissues, they are divided into three categories: the apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and the lateral meristem. Now the apical meristem, they are present at the root and shoot tips of the plant. Suppose this is the root and I'm drawing a tape root system. Okay, this is a root. Then the tip of the root, this portion, the tip of the root, it has got the meristematic tissues. Okay, and then suppose this is the shoot, then the tip portion of this shoot, it has this portion, it has got the meristematic tissues. Now the root and the shoot tip, they both have the apical meristem. So because of this apical meristem, it will help in growth, or it will help in the growth in length of the plant. So because of this apical meristem, growth in length takes place. So all the plants that grow to a great height, some plants even grow up to 100 meter in height, it is because of the activity of the apical meristem. Now what is intercalary meristem? Intercalary meristem, it is present in between the nodes. Now which regions are called as the nodes? In the plant we see that the leaves and the branches, they come out from a particular region of the stem. So this particular region where the new leaves and branches come out, they are called as the nodes. And in between the two nodes, this is a node and this is another node. So in between the two nodes, the distance, it is called as internode. The intercalary meristem, as you know, the name intercalary means in between. So it is present in between this internode. So those meristem which are present in the internode is called as the intercalary meristem, and it will help in causing the length of the stem. It will help in extending this length, okay, and also it will help in producing new branches, new fruits, new leaves or flowers which come out, that will be also due to the activity of the intercalary meristem. Now the next is the lateral meristem. Now lateral meristem helps in increasing the girth of the plant. The girth means the thickness of the stem or the thickness of the trunk, even the branches, the thickness that will increase, that will be due to the action of the lateral meristem. And where is lateral meristem present? It is present in this stem region, in the lateral sides of the stem region. This lateral meristem is present. So let us write the function of both. Intercalary meristem helps in increasing the internode. So it increases length of internode. That means it will also help in increasing the height of the plant, and also new branches, leaves and flowers will arise out of it. So, and then next one is the lateral meristem. Now the lateral meristem helps in increasing the girth or the thickness. Girth is also called as thickness, or thickness of the stem and or trunk of the plant. Greetings students. Now you must be very curious to know, what does this meristematic cell actually look like? How should they look under the microscope? So these meristematic tissues, all of them, they will look quite small in size. Among all these kind of tissues, the meristematic cells will be the smallest in size because they are continuously dividing. And this kind of cells, they will have the shape which will be polygonal. So shape may be polygonal or roundish, that means spherical, you can say. Then the cell wall is very thin. So thin cell wall. and there will be no intercellular space. In between the cells will be very tightly packed, so there will be no space in between the cells. No intercellular space. Now inside the cell, the cytoplasm will be very dense. Dense cytoplasm, large nucleus, and no plastid. Please remember, these are plant cells, but they will have no plastids. So a matured plastid is not there, but a prematured protoplastid may be present in some cases. So no mature plastid, you can just write no plastid. Okay, and the cell wall, it is made up of cellulose. As we know, all the plant cell wall, they are made of cellulose. Also there will be a little bit of pectin present. Now because of this pectin, they will become very elastic in nature. So the meristematic tissues, they will show great elasticity. So elasticity is seen. That is the reason why the meristematic tissue can bend in any side. That means if you look at the branches, you look at the tip of the plants, you will see that they have the capability to bend in any direction because they will bend towards the sunlight, is not it? So whichever direction the sunlight is, it will bend. And if you turn the plant a little bit, okay, you turn the pot, if it is in a pot, then just change the direction of the meristem and you will see that the next day the shoot will also change its direction and will tilt towards the sunlight. So it shows, it is because of this elasticity in the cell wall that it can show such bending in the stem. Now how will it look like? If I draw it, the cells will look like this. Very tightly packed cells, very tightly packed, small cells, constantly dividing, and they will have, because they are constantly dividing, they will have no time to store food in them. That's why there will be no large vacuole, though there can be small vacuoles present. Okay, so there can be small sized vacuole, so no large vacuole. Although the food reserves that are reached here will be very large, so they will get large amount of food supply, but they will not have much vacuole. So they will not be doing any photosynthesis, and they will be constantly dividing, and they will be quite elastic in nature, and also no space in between the cells. You can see all the cells are very compactly arranged. So hope you have understood, and here are the functions. This is the structure and these are the functions here. So function is growth in length, growth in the internode or production of new branches, leaves and flowers, and also increase in girth or thickness of the stem. So these are the functions, and this is how the meristem look like.